Hey guys, Green here with the Zerg vs. Paralysis tutorial video. This video will be going over all of the various builds that Paralysis can do and how to answer the two most important questions. When do I stop droning and what do I produce? And I guess it's the same question, but what do I produce and when? So, the best way to teach this to anybody of all levels is to understand when they can attack you. If you know when they can attack you, then you know when you need to stop producing and start producing units. So if you look to your left, you'll see a bunch of timings. We're going to go over in this video how to safely and systematically beat all of those timings without sacrificing economy or tech. First things first, consistency. You must have a similar build function the same way at all times so that when you go back to practice and you look at your replays and you're trying to see what went wrong, you'll have a basis, a platform that you can look at and say, okay, well, I performed well this game and I didn't this game. Oh, I got supply blocked early game over here. That's what hurt me early, which led to my late game weaker economy. Or I got harassed early and I didn't handle it very well. By having this basis, this platform, you can improve more rapidly. So pool first prevents you from getting cannon rush, prevents you from getting hatch blocked, and the build order will be in the bottom if you're curious. The second thing I want to talk about is scouting. The first overlord, the second, and the third overlord must go to specific locations every single PvZ. The first overlord's job is to scout Nexus, Forge first, or Gateway first. Once you've scouted these things, you can respond appropriately with the amount of lings that you need next for further scouting. Your second and third overlord's job is to go down here, and we'll reveal why those are doing this later on in the match. But for now, let's just focus on ling production and scouting. The rule of lings is as follows. If they go Nexus or Forge first, produce 2 lings. If they go Gateway first, produce 4. The reasons are very simple. If they go Forge or Nexus first, they're delaying the ability to get anti-air, sentries, and stalkers. That means that your overlord can more comfortably sit out in front here, and it can't get chased away. You must control the front of the base to prevent any early zealots or probes from sneaking out on the map to make proxy pylons. Now, the second thing is, what if they go Gateway first? Well, if they go Gateway first, they can chase away this overlord. So by building a second set of lings, you can still control this space, and they can't really stop you. Simply put your overlord over here, and always control this area. Now, if they chase you away, simply run back, but come back around. Do not ever give up this spot. Every time you get chased away is a time that something can slip out like a probe. Now, with your other 2 units, I want you to send them around the map and scout for different things. If you can see a probe that's already hidden on the map, you'll be able to kill it, or a pylon being built, they won't be able to use it. So after you see that, kill it, or if there's nothing there, report back to these watchtowers and maintain control of these for the rest of the game. Now, if they went Forge or Nexus first, your overlord will be sitting here. If they went Gateway first, you'll have your 2 lings sitting here. So it's very, very simple. If they kill your lings, make sure you reproduce new ones. You must control the front of the base at all times. The second thing is gas. The trick to holding timing attacks is knowing exactly when to produce, but also having the exact amount to produce. If I had more gas than I needed early game, that's hurting my mineral income. You don't want to take gas too early, but you don't want to take gas too late. So the rule is very easy. When you start researching your ling speed, take 2 off of gas, put them on minerals, and you'll find that when you have to defend against the first timing attack, you'll have the perfect number of gas. If you look up here, you're seeing the gas getting around 75, right around the time the roach warren finishes. So this brings me to my first timing attack, and that is the Zealot Mothership Core Harass, designed to either kill or cancel a third, or run into the natural and do a lot of probe damage. How do I know it's coming? How do I defend against it? Well, it's very, very easy. If they go Forge or Nexus first, the Cyber will be in the front. If the Cyber's in the front, then you can have an Overlord seeing it. And if you see them chrono boosting Warp Gates, that means that they're trying to do some sort of Zealot aggression. Follow the build order, build the roaches, and you'll defend it. If they go Gateway first, it'll be up here, and you might not see the Cyber. So do your best to dart in and out. Maybe you'll get lucky and see it back here. Maybe you won't. But if you don't see it, understand that they went Gateway first, so they're hurting their economy to do so. Simply just build the 3 roaches, and you'll easily hold off the timing attack. Now the timing attacks occur at 7 minutes for gateway first and 8 minutes for forge first. This basically means that by having our roaches out by 7 minutes, you can easily defend it, the initial 4 zealots. You'll be able to send a queen over and kill the mothership core or chase it away, and you won't have to overproduce. Now, if they were to warp in stalkers and try to kite your roaches, well, guess what? Ling speed is finished. So just produce a few lings, kill the stalkers, and there you go. If you followed everything up till now, you'll easily defend any sort of early zealot harassment. Congratulations, you've hit your first timing. Now, the second timing is a little bit more tricky. The second timing is an 8-gate timing. Now, how do we know an 8-gate timing is coming and how do we defend it? Well, we've already got ling speed and roaches, a few roaches. We've got our roach warren. We're taking additional gas. We're adding extra gas over here. And we're taking our third. So an 8-gate timing happens at around, 8 minutes plus. How do we know it's coming? Well, it's very simple. These overlords that we've put here earlier are now going to sacrifice themselves. You want to do so between 6:30 and 7 minutes. The goal of this overlord is to scout this way, and the goal of this overlord is to kind of scout this way, covering as much area as possible. Now, this is the first and most important indicator generally of the matchup. If no gas has been taken by 7 minutes, then they are doing an 8-gate timing, produce lots of lings and roaches, and you will easily hold off the attack. If you've done everything up to now in the video, then congratulations, now you've beaten 2 timing attacks. But what if they take the gas? Well, it's pretty easy. If they've taken the gas, then you have to identify what tech they're going. Once you identify what tech, you coincide that tech with a potential all-in timing on the left, and you can now respond appropriately to that. So, if this is a robo or a twilight or a stargate, it doesn't matter. Most of the all-ins happen between 10 and 11 minutes. If we know that the all-ins happen between 10 and 11 minutes, then we know that we have about 30 more seconds of droning before we have to start producing units. So we're taking our lair, we're finishing up our drones, but we have to make sure we know that we're safe from the all-in first before we add additional drones. So I recommend about 1 minute and 30 seconds before the minute mark designated for the all-in, we cut units and start producing. But what units do you produce? Well, it's also very simple. Regardless of what you're fighting against, be it Stargate, Twilight, or Robo, your first units are lings. The lings can do one of two things. They can threaten to counterattack or get in and kill all the probes. They can also kill the forward pylon or the probe making it. This is very important. By doing so, you will stop the attack from happening for up to a minute, which is about the build time of a pylon, and you will possibly just completely ruin a guy's intentions of hitting a timing, because some people then have to go back in the base, select another probe, send it out. You're just killing their timing window. So the first unit's got to be lings. Now, how do you build against the different attacks? Well, if you've scouted a Stargate and they've only made 1 or 2 Phoenixes, this is important. The Phoenixes are there just to scout and kind of kill overlords and make you think they're doing Phoenixes. If you don't see like 4 or 5 Phoenix, then you can assume it's a Void Ray all-in. Do your best to scout in and out the front base with these 2 lings. Just dart in and up the ramp. And if you see a bunch of Void Rays, or you see immortals, or you see a bunch of stalkers, then you know which build is happening. If you see Void Rays, it's Void Ray all-in. If you see immortals, it's immortal all-in. If you see a lot of stalkers, it's probably a blink timing. If they go stalkers, favor lings. If they go Void Rays, build some extra queens and favor lings and roaches. If they go immortal sentry all-in, kind of half and half ling roach. Lings are really great against immortals. Once they run out of sentries, lings can kind of flank the back and force the slow zealots to kind of have to dart in and out and handle all the lings while the roaches pick away at them. All the while, the immortals are kind of shooting the lings, and you're doing a better job of holding the push. Now, on the back of this attack, you ideally also want to add hydras. Hydra Roach Ling is really effective at holding these all-ins. So, when your lair completes, add infestation pit and hydra den, and then start producing additional hydras if the attack continues. Now, how do you know if they're going to continue the attack or attacking? Well, we mentioned earlier we have a third overlord here. So, this job of the overlord is to morph into an overseer and confirm the attack. Once you've confirmed the attack, keep producing units, or if they're doing a tech like Robo Facility, then produce some more drones. Once you've confirmed the attack and made the appropriate response, congratulations, you've now held off the next timing attacks. Now, after you've decided what tech you've seen, whether they're expanding or the Overseer scouted lots of immortals or void rays, whatever it may be, and you've produced an army that can defeat it, it's time to hit the final timing attack, which is Colossus. Now, you've produced a lot of lings. So what if they just turtle up on their base, 2 bases, and built Colossus? Well, the Colossus timing is 14 minutes. That usually means Colossus range and about 3 Colossus. So, at 11 minutes, you've got a little bit of a cushion. Produce a bunch of drones, take your gas, saturate your 3rd base, take your macro hatch, and after you've done that, it's time to go right back to producing units. You do not want to fall behind. All the while, we've been taking our hive, upgrading our units in various ways, but we want to make sure that the lings we made earlier are not completely useless. Force fields in Colossus generally render lings completely and utterly garbage. So how do we maintain our lings worth, but also defeat potential Colossus that are coming? Well, we produce the hydras in the back wave for added DPS. We still have our lings, but we need to get to Viper tech. Now, Vipers can easily pull Colossus in and kill them very quickly. If you kill the Colossus, lings go from being bad to great. So by going Viper tech, we preserve our lings value that we've made earlier against immortal pushes, but we didn't kill ourselves by going a different tech like Spire. If we go Spire and build Corruptors, a lot of times the Corruptors don't kill the Overlords quickly enough, and the lings can get roasted by force fields and Colossus. If you followed all of your timings up till now in the build order, you will have now systematically defeated every single build. Your Vipers are going to be coming out right before 13 minutes, giving you about a minute to max your energy, more than enough time. You're about to be maxed out, and if they're taking their 3rd base, you're taking your 4th to counter their 3rd. Like I said, if you followed everything up till now in the build order, you will easily hold any sort of Colossi aggression. You had enough army to produced enough army to hold any earlier aggression from Immortal Sentry all-in, Void Ray all-ins, and Blinkstalker all-ins. And you have now systematically beat every single Protoss timing through simple understandings of when they can attack, and then coinciding that with your droning and producing patterns. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I appreciate, and thanks.